Tua the Elephant, written by R.P. Harris. Chapter 1, In the Night Market. Tua and her mother lived in Chiang Mai, Thailand, on a quiet lane near one of the city's most popular night markets. Tua, darling, where are you? I need your help. My shoes run off and I'm late for work. Tua leaped up from her desk and ran to fetch her mother's shoes from outside the front door. Wherever did you find them? I looked everywhere. They were on the porch, Tua said. Were they running away or sneaking back home? They were where you left them when you came home from work, she reminded her mother, like you always do. Soinam hugged and kissed her daughter, then slipped on her shoes. What would I do without you? Oh, I'm late. What time is it? I gotta go. I love you the most. I love you the most, Tua called down the stairs. If you need anything, go to Auntie Orchid's, and don't stay out too late at the night market. Have you got the number of the restaurant? I've got it, Tua said. As soon as her mother was out of sight, Tua put away her homework and dashed into the street as if late for an appointment of her own. Sawadee ka, uncle, Tua said to Somchai, the roti pancake vendor. Who speaks? Somchai called over his cart. It's me, Tua said, stretching to the tips of her toes and waving her hand in the air. Of course it is. Who else could it be? Somchai replied, handing Tua a banana roti with chocolate sauce and condensed milk. Khop kun ka, Tua politely thanked him. How's your mother? She's working at the restaurant tonight, Tua said, and then took a greedy bite of the banana roti. Always working, every day and every night. Somchai stretched his neck like a tortoise and sighed. Some of us were only born to work. I'm going to the night market, Tua said. Don't let me keep you from your appointed rounds, then. Better play while you may. Ka! Tua waved goodbye and zigzagged through the clogged traffic to the other side of the street. Hey, Tua, what's your big hurry? Uncle Kun, the tuk-tuk driver, called out as she skipped onto the curb. He was collapsed in the back of his three-wheel taxi, where one bare leg dangling over the side like a python. I'm going to the night market, Tua pouted. But recalling her mother's warning, girls who pout bite their cheeks, she immediately unpuckered her face. Get in, Kun winked. I'll give you a good price. No, thank you, she said. I'm almost there. Kun threw back his head to laugh, thought better of it, pulled a newspaper off his face, and fell asleep to a lullaby of honking horns, screeching tires, and the occasional collision. The alley Tua ducked down, Soi 5, led her to the middle of the night market. She stopped at the end with hands on hips, surveying her domain as if waiting for a cue to enter the stage. The strings of bare light bulbs crisscrossed overhead, igniting the street in a blaze. Vendors' carts crowded both sides of the street, hawking their wares to the people strolling down the middle. Curries with rice and curries with noodles, pad thai and pad thai omelets, rotis with chocolate sauce and condensed milk, sticky rice and mango, green papaya salad with shredded carrots, tomatoes, green onions and peanuts, taro, tamarind, durian, and coconut ice cream, and crispy banana fritters. Watermelon, pineapple, papaya, and mango nestled on beds of crushed ice. Coconut oil sizzles in woks, grills smoked, and blenders whirled. A traditional band made up of coconut shell fiddle, a bamboo flute, skin drum, chimes, gongs, and a wooden xylophone competed with a boy dancing to pop music on a screeching boombox. A girl in a school uniform scratched out a tune on a battered violin. Sawadee krap, Tua, said a bare-chested boy as he hung a string of jasmine flowers around his neck. White jasmine necklaces climbed up on the length of his arm. ขอบคุณค่ะ Ananda. She thanked him, lifting the string of flowers to her nose and inhaling a sugary sweet scent. Lamb, Ananda's sister, tugged at Tua's elbow. Tua lifted the girl in her arms and rubbed noses with her. Tua nodded at the dozens of jasmine necklaces around her neck. You smell good to eat. Are you going to sell all of those tonight? Lamb shook her head no, then nodded yes. Come, Lamb, Ananda said. He reached for his sister, sat her down, and took her by the hand. See you later, Tua. Ka. Tua waved goodbye and stepped into the strolling current. Halfway through the market, Tua stopped to watch a man carve a bar of soap into the shape of an elephant when she heard a voice call out behind her. Does the little peanut want a foot massage? Tua spun around and searched the rows of people on mats, having their muscles and limbs pummeled and pulled until she spotted Auntie Duan, the blind masseuse. Sawadee ka, Auntie. How did you know it was me? By the sound of your footsteps. But it's too noisy to hear footsteps, Tua argued. Then I must have smelled you, Duan shrugged. Tua still wasn't convinced. What do I smell like? Night jasmine and chocolate sauce, guessed Auntie Duan. Tua opened her mouth but was too flabbergasted to speak. Tua, don't just stand there with your mouth hanging open like a carp, hollowed Aunt Nam, the curry noodle vendor. Run over to Uncle Sip's and fetch me some bean sprouts. And don't let that old bandwidth cheat you, she warned, flipping a 10-baht coin into Tua's hands. Ka, Tua said, after closing her mouth and inspecting the coin. Then she leaped into the market like a cat, weaving her way through and around the legs of choppers until she came to a stop in front of Uncle Sip's vegetable stand. Sawadee ka, Uncle. What's that? He barked, still angry with the chef who had offered such a ridiculously low price for his cabbages. Some people didn't seem to know that life is a wheel and that everything is only a spoke in a wheel of life. Life is a wheel, Tua, Uncle Sip declared suddenly, as if the idea had just occurred to him. And we are only spokes in the wheel of life, Uncle. This response brought Sip out of his reverie. He looked down at Tua and grinned like a gecko. You are so smart, Tua. Who taught you that? You did, Uncle. Oh, no wonder you're so smart then. Did you finish your homework? Ka, Tua said, crossing her fingers behind her back. All finished. Good, that's good, because you'll never get ahead in this world on night market philosophy alone. You need an education. Let's test your math and haggling skills. Pretend you're here to do some shopping. But I am here to do some shopping. I need bean sprouts for Auntie Nam. Pretend you've come on an errand to buy bean sprouts for Auntie Nam, Sip suggested, as if this, too, was an original idea. 10 baht a pound, he announced. Tua handed him the 10-baht coin. You're supposed to haggle, he whispered. May I have some change, please? Uncle Sip handed Tua a bag of bean sprouts and a 5-baht coin. Good, very good indeed, he said. Well-mannered and forthright. Manners are harder to teach than business skills. We'll work on the haggling tomorrow. Ka, Uncle, Tua said, and shot off back to Auntie Nam. Auntie Nam plucked the bag of bean sprouts out of Tua's hands and replaced it with a bowl of curry noodles. Yum, Auntie, Tua said. I love khao soi. Auntie Nam held out the flat of her hand while Tua, balancing the hot bowl in one tiny palm like a juggler, dropped the 5-baht coin into it. Auntie Nam squeezed her eyes into slits and stared down at the coin with suspicion, sniffed approval at last, pocketed it, and brushed her hand affectionately across Tua's cheek. Good girl, she said. Now eat. Ka auntie, Tua said, and sat down on a little plastic stool that seemed custom-made for a little girl her size. อร่อยมากๆ she said, expressing her pleasure to the bowl of khao soi in her lap. The aroma rose up from its spicy cloud that encircled her head and poured into her nostrils, filling her with a warm and comforting glow. She might have remained in that trance had Auntie Nam not dropped a handful of crispy fried noodles in Tua's bowl and squeezed half of a lime over the top of them. The gesture broke the spell Tua was in, and she lifted the bowl to her lips with both hands and drank the rich, thick curry sauce. She's so delicious, she repeated, this time to Auntie Nam instead of the bowl. Auntie Nam bowed a Y with her palms pressed together, thanking Tua for the compliment. After washing her bowl and spoon, and all of the other bowls and spoons that needed washing, Tua bid good luck to Auntie Nam and continued on her rounds. She stopped for a gossip and giggle with her school chum, Gip, who with her mother, Na, sewed hand-painted paper umbrellas, silk sarongs, and tied fisherman's pants. When Na called Gip back to work, Tua began following a scruffy brown dog with a muzzle over his snout. Why are you wearing that muzzle? She asked the brown dog. The brown dog led Tua to a quiet corner of the market. Then he settled down on his haunches beside a large, teetering pile of boxes and crates and tugged at the muzzle with his front paws. Would you like me to help you take that off? She asked him. The brown dog lifted his ears, tilted his head in an attitude of welcome surprise as if to say, what an especially good idea, and attempted as best he could to affect a grin behind the muzzle. First you must tell me why you're wearing it, Tua said. Before he could speak, if speech is possible for a brown dog with a muzzle on his snout, a slim gray cat dropped from the sky, or perhaps from the wall separating the market from the street, and onto the boxes and crates. The cat glared down at the brown dog, then snarled and hissed, rather rudely, Tua thought. The dog must have thought it was rude as well, for he leaped up from his crouch, sending the boxes, crates, and the gray cat scattering. That was an answer to the question of why he was wearing a muzzle, as Tua could have gotten from the brown dog himself. Muzzle or no muzzle, it was a mystery unlocked. But now, there in the wall, a new mystery presented itself. Behind, where the boxes and crates had been stacked higher than a brown dog can jump, and gaping like a old Grandma Orn's toothless mouth, there, looking just big enough for Tua to squeeze through, was a hole. If walls could speak, this one would have invited Tua to step through the hole to the other side.